Microsoft provides a service called Azure File Sync that allows us to synchronize files from our local servers with the cloud and with other servers. So think of it as basically a replication service for shared files between offices across the globe or wherever. First step of setting up Azure File Sync is to download the File Sync agent. You need to get this downloaded and running on your local server, and it basically allows your files, which are on your local machine, to be kept in sync with the Azure file share. When you go into the Azure portal, you can search for Azure File Sync, and you'll see that Azure File Sync is a service. We're going to hit Create. Give the service a name, AZSJD File Sync. Choose a resource group and location and click Create. And so this is going to create the storage sync service in this resource, which is sort of the orchestrator, the manager of the file syncs between your local directories. Now that only took a few seconds. The home of your file sync is what's called a sync group. A sync group is basically a set of files that are going to be kept synchronized across those multiple servers. So for each file share that you want to have synchronized, you're going to create a sync group. So this is, I'll just call this new sync group. Pay-as-you-go subscription. Now I have to put this into a storage account. So we created this file share previously. If you haven't created one, you're going to need one. And we need to basically have a share within the file share that is going to be kept in sync. So remember that whatever files are synced to the sync group are going to be stored in this file share. So that's the basis of a sync group. Now, the other key concept besides sync groups is that once you've installed the Azure File Sync agent to your server, you need to install it, and then you need to configure it, which is called a server registration, to get the files to synchronize from your server into the Azure file service. Okay, and so again, this is a way around the block if you've got a block for port 445. But basically, by having the software running on your computer, it can synchronize the files as you specify into the cloud. And then the more Azure File Sync agents that you install on various computers, if you synchronize them to the same sync group, then they're all going to get copies of those files. So think of this as a way of having 4 or 5 servers around the world with the same Azure File Sync agent installed, synchronized to the same sync group, and Azure is going to take care of making sure all of the files in those directories are synchronized with each other.